What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So guys, we're back with some Payday 3, 99 boxes this time, stealth, solo, and this time we are gonna equip our masks. So in this mission we have to steal some electronic equipment from the harbor, and for this first we have to access the warehouse. But before I do this, I like to already get the QR codes from the guards that we will need later on. There is one guard on the right side or the east side of the warehouse, and to be honest, the way I do it is I just get caught, I make him see me, and then while he's escorting you out, you can just hack the phone. If you want, you can also do it in stealth. It's also perfectly possible, but this way it's just easy. You don't have to worry about anything. You're in a private area anyway, so even if he sees you, it really doesn't matter. Just make sure that you get the QR code on his phone. After this, you can go to the other guard. He is on the left side of the warehouse, so the west side, but to be honest, he's often also in the back. So the easiest way to get to him, in my opinion, is just going from the right and then to the back, because on the right you just have less cameras maybe, and also just more obstacles. It's just much easier to go to the back from the right side. So over here, he's hanging around in this area. Just look for him, and then when it's convenient, just also get the QR code. You can do the same. You can just get caught by him as well, and then he will escort you out. It's going to take much longer for him to escort you out, so it's going to be very easy to get the QR code. But of course, if you do it stealth, you will save some time. The next thing will be to get in the warehouse. So a couple of options for this. Either the door in the back, which I'm headed to right now. You have to lockpick this door, but to be honest, of course, that's easy. Then on the left side, there is a garage door which is open, so you can just enter it. There are some more cameras over there, so you have to be careful. And then in the front, there is just a truck which is kind of connected to the warehouse, and you can jump into this. And this is also a way to get into the warehouse, but for this you will have to equip your mask. So if you want to do it without your mask, it's in the back or on the left side. So when we're inside the warehouse, the first thing that we have to do is prepare the truck, which we will use to put the equipment in. This is a refrigerated truck, so we will also need some nitrogen coolant to keep the truck cool. And this nitrogen, you can find it in one of these crates. So before you go to the truck, you can already search for the nitrogen, and then when you get to the truck, you can just put it inside already, and this will save you some time. So a crate on the left over here as well, and then this one over here as well. So all these crates are possibly the location for the nitrogen. I think on the other side there is also one or two crates as well. So then after this, you can go to the refrigerated truck. It will be pointed out, so it's very easy to find, and also there is just not that many trucks. And then you can just put the nitrogen in it, and that's the first step. Now if you didn't find the nitrogen, you can just go to the truck, and then the game will also point out where you can find the nitrogen, so don't worry about that. The next step is to discover or to find out which containers we have to look in for the equipment. And for this you can go upstairs, and upstairs there is two offices, one on this side where I'm at and one on the other side. And in one of them there will be a PC that you can hack, and on this PC you can find the information about the container. So just interact with the PC. So like I said, it's either this office or the yellow one that you can see across the warehouse. Both of them pretty easy to access, so not an issue at all. When the hack is done, you will see either east or west yard on the screen, and then also the row where you can find the first container. You don't have to memorize this, it will be on the top left of your screen as well. Now the east yard, in my opinion, it's the easier one. So the east yard is on the right side where we were before, and the reason for this is because on the east side you have less civilians, and after this moment we will mask up, and if you have less civilians, it's just easier because it's harder to get spotted. So on the west side you will have to be more careful. Now in order to access the yards, we have to use a zip line. So we have to set this up in a high location. It will be over here for the east side. For the west side, it will be at the top of some stairs which are just next to the building. It will be pointed out as well, so it's pretty easy to find. In the back somewhere there will be a bag with equipment. Go ahead and get this and just bring this to the square, throw it in there, and this will set up the zip line. By the way, if you want to use the zip line, you will have to mask up. So if you somehow did it without masking up, If you cannot use the zip line, that's why. So you have to mask up and then you can use it. So when you're inside, you will see on the floor that there is some numberings. So these are the numbers of the rows. We have A84. It's in decreasing order. So on the right here it's A88, and then a little bit further it was 86. So we just have to go in that direction. And then when you're at the correct row, you have to find a white container. In my case over here, it was very easy to find, but it will always be a white container. So just go to the correct row, which you can read on the floor or on the ground, and then just find the white container. It might seem hard to access it sometime, but the places where you can climb up are always indicated with something yellow, so this might help you as well. After you get in the container, you have to kind of disable the security system. So this is again the system with the circles, which we saw in the museum robbery as well. I forgot the name for a second. But you just have to complete 5 of these circles. So just stand in them, wait for them to be entirely green, and that's pretty much it. Also, after you do one, a new one will spawn as well. So always go for the easier locations. Some of them will be tricky. They will be in the middle where the guard can see you. So don't go for those. Just go for those that are in the back and that are more safe, in fact. When you're finished with the circles, you can go back to the container, you can grab the equipment, and then it's very important to know that you have to move fast. So the game will also tell you the longer that the equipment stays uncooled, the more value that it will lose. So the faster that you are, the better, but of course be careful as well, because you don't want to be spotted and you don't want to trigger the alarm. So maybe a good thing is to first plan out how you will run away before you grab the equipment. In my case, it was really a very easy location, so I was there pretty fast. And then you can choose, either you go from the back. If you're on the west side, you probably want to enter the building back from the west side. I would say don't rush it too much, so of course you have to be fast, but also keep in mind that you're still in stealth. You have your mask on, so no one can see you. Just run in the areas between the yard and the warehouse. You don't have much cameras over there, but when you're inside the warehouse, of course, stay crouched, make sure that no one sees you. It's not really worth it to get caught just for, I don't know, 50k more. So when you drop off the first bag, you can go back to the yard. So the east yard in my case. If it's the west yard, you have to go back to the west yard, because there is another container with the same equipment. So it's 2 pieces of equipment that we have to steal. Now this time on the top left, you can see that for me it says B51. So first it was A, this was on the left side, and B, it will be on the right side. So just go back to the zip line, and then when you're there again, you have to look on the ground, find the right row, and then in this row you will have to find the white container, because the white container is always the one that has valuables in it. By the way, you can also find other white containers on other rows. These will also have valuables. If you want, you can also rob those, but in this video I'm not going to do that. So B51 was the first row, and you can already see the white container over here. It's on the second row, so I cannot access it like this, so I will have to find another way. Now over here there was a camera on the right. I shot it, but then the guards on the other side of the fence actually saw it. So he didn't see it directly, but when he walks by, he sees the camera, he sees it broke, and then a search will start. So shooting cameras, it's no issue in principle, just if the guard doesn't see it immediately, so if he doesn't see it when you shoot it. But they will start searching, so this means that the guards will use different routes than they use normally. So then you just have to be more alert. But to be honest, in this mission there is not many guards, so it's not that big of an issue. Like I said, if you want to climb something, it's always marked with like a yellow rope or something yellow, so this will help you. If there are civilians, by the way, you can also tie them up. Maybe also put them somewhere where they cannot be seen that easily, so I put this one in the container over here. You never know if the guard will walk by, and if he sees this, of course, then the alarm will go off. But so to climb the yellow stuff, and then just get to the front of the white container somehow. And then over here you can again use the QR code which we got in the beginning. So this is the reason why you need 2 QR codes, and also I think it's easier if you just get both of them at the start. Then we have to do the circle thing again. I will skip this part because it's just the same, but again 5 circles that you have to complete. So when you're done, again, go to the container, take the equipment, and then you have to be fast again, because the longer it takes you, the lower that the value of the equipment will be. So when you're returning, go fast, but also be careful for the guards, for the cameras, you guys know it. Go back to the warehouse, put the equipment in the truck, and then you're pretty much done. If you want, you can return to the yards where the containers are, and you can look for other white containers. There's only one guard patrolling over there. If you want, you can just shoot him and then answer the radio, and then you can just look around freely. I didn't do this over here, but if you want, you can also do this. You're still in stealth, and to be honest, it's not that difficult in this mission. So when you're done, don't forget to close the doors of the truck. I forgot to do this over here. But when you close it, you can go to the front of the truck, and then you can end the mission. For this mission, I got 500k, and it took me around 17 minutes to complete it, which compared to the other missions is actually pretty fast. By the way, you cannot enter the truck anymore after you put in the equipment. That's the reason why it was glitching like this over here. So guys, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to like, subscribe, check out the Discord in the description, and peace out, you guys.